thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never ever have enough. Hello there, it's Positive Thinking Day, and we start things off with that timely reminder from popular talk show host and actress Oprah Winfrey. Stay with us. We have lots of useful tips and information waiting for you right after this break.
Jamaica, I can help you protect our citizens.
Jamaica Eye will play a part in increasing your public safety.
Jamaica Eye is part of an island-wide network of camera surveillance systems designed to increase the safety of you, our citizens. If you have a camera system outside your home or office facing a public space, log on to jamaicaeye.gov.jm today. Jamaica Eye, we're all connected. The Ministry of National Security, creating a safer and prosperous Jamaica.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, September 13. A backlog of thousands of traffic tickets have been cleared following major software modifications to the island's traffic ticket management system, TTMS. The TTMS is a centralized, web-based system that was introduced in September 2010 by eGov. It improves ticket management from the point when one is issued to when it's either paid at the tax office or adjudicated in court. The major update to the TTMS ensures accurate information is available to the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the courts, and other critical stakeholders. 240,000 traffic tickets recorded as failed payments from September 2010 to April 2019 have been rectified through the upgraded system. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang says the government recognizes that poor data entry is an ongoing issue and is embarking on a pilot project to replace the manual ticketing system. He says the proposed handheld ticketing solution will comprise a mobile device, such as a smartphone or tablet, and a mobile printer, which will allow the police to efficiently validate offenders' driver's license and vehicle registration. This system will also facilitate the production of accurate and legible traffic tickets, which will significantly reduce data entry errors. Further system improvements and preventative measures are in progress to ensure there is no repeat of the failed payment buildup. 4 schools will be removed from the shift system in the current fiscal year, which ends March 2020. It will cost the government $93.9 million to institute the change. The money will be used to upgrade the Exchange All-Age School in St. Anne, Albertown High and Cedric Titus High in Trelawney, and Port Antonio High in Portland. Minister with Oversight for Education Carl Samuda made the disclosure as he responded to questions in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. He says the 4 schools are among 37 institutions that remain on the shift system. Come January 1, there will be a reduction of the sulfur content in the island's marine fuel to 0.5%. The current sulfur content is reported to be 3%. Minister of Transport and Mining Robert Montego says the move is to protect the marine environment against oil pollution incidents, as government anticipates more ships coming into the country.
Jamaica is on the leading edge of getting that fuel out there. So it is estimated that if we can get 10% of the business of the amount of ships that come through the Panama Canal, we can earn upwards of $3 billion as a country.
The minister was speaking yesterday during a transport operators meeting in Mandeville. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett has urged members of the UNWTO General Assembly to express solidarity with the government and people of the Bahamas following the passage of Hurricane Dorian. The minister was addressing the 23rd session of the United Nations World Tourism Organization General Assembly on Wednesday in St. Petersburg, Russia. He urged the General Assembly to take note of the current situation in the Bahamas and resolve to offer all the support that is possible to ensure a speedy and effective recovery. The tourism minister also called upon the UNWTO to support the reconstruction process with a focus on rebuilding better and thriving industries. Minister Bartlett says the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center, located at the University of the West Indies in Jamaica, is ready to serve as a vehicle for implementing the UNWTO's collective efforts. The international tourism body includes members from 158 countries, 6 territories, and over 500 affiliate members from the private sector. The minister and his delegation are expected to return from Russia on Saturday. The Jamaican Language Unit at the University of the West Indies, Mona, will be leading a national discussion on the issue to position Jamaican Patois as an official language. The discussion will be conducted under the slogan, "Make Jamaican Official, Just Do It." It is part of the 100 days of activities to celebrate the 100th birthday anniversary of cultural icon Louise Bennett Coverley. Speaking at a recent JIS think tank, Professor Emeritus at the Jamaican Language Unit, Hubert Devonish, says a meeting will be held on September 26 to plan the public discussion, which is scheduled to begin October 1.
We want to go to all the parish capitals, churches, community groups and so on, where we will be having a discussion about should the Jamaican language be made official? What does that mean? What are the resources in the case of the government departments and so on that they need to put in place so that when people come in, they can provide services in any of the languages that people feel like they want to use, respectful and efficient service.
He says the language unit will also launch a 40-day online petition on November 1, asking Parliament to pass legislation to grant official status to the Jamaican language alongside English. This will be followed by a symposium at UE on December 10, which will pull together all the discussions to form a report which will be submitted to the government. And finally, the Ministry of Health and Wellness will be amplifying its efforts over the next few weeks to raise awareness on sickle cell disease. In a statement issued this week, the ministry says it will be offering screenings to pregnant mothers and newborn babies at all public health facilities, free of cost to families. 19,000 Jamaicans currently live with the illness. Early screening allows medical practitioners to determine whether or not a child has the sickle cell disease or if he or she is a carrier, meaning the child has the sickle cell trait. 4 doses of pneumococcal vaccine and a further booster dose of Haemophilus influenza type B are offered by the ministry to children who are sickle cell positive. The activities are part of plans in commemoration of Sickle Cell Awareness Month being observed in September. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
So, as mentioned earlier, it's Positive Thinking Day. This is time set aside each year to concentrate on all things affirmative, progressive, and uplifting. The commemoration began in 2003 so that people could experience the many rewards of thinking positively. Talking about rewards, here's the story of a young man who, despite unfortunate circumstances in life, was able to pull through and excel because of his go-getter attitude.
Growing up, I didn't have no parent, nowhere to go. I was just stranded. I started to live in Crossroads because I didn't have nowhere else to go. So what I would do when I'm at Crossroads, I would stay in Mothers by day, and by night I would get a piece of cardboard and sleep at the bus stop beside of Mothers in Crossroad. I will walk and beg, or I will stay in Mothers for the whole day, begging pass-bys or so forth, till I find myself again money now. So I'd always have a phone, so I use that money that I get, buy credit, put on the phone and put on service, data, and find out about all of the ministries and so forth. And I will sit there and call the different ministries, from the Chief of Defense Staff Office to the Minister of Education, the Prime Minister's Office, all of those. So I keep on calling and keep on calling till I call the Prime Minister's Office again, and a secretary. I talked to her till I tell myself, say, I can't take it no more. I start crying. I tell the lady, say, miss, please just help me. Please, I beg you, help me. And the lady say, young man, I will guarantee you that I will help you. So don't worry yourself. She called me back like an hour after or so forth, and she said to me that I got to a person that I think will most likely help you in your situation, which his name is Mr. Martin Rittman. He is the head coordinator of the OPE program. An hour after, Mr. Rittman called me, and he introduced himself, and I introduced myself, and I tell him my story all over again. He told me that he can help me out with something to do, a skill and a job or so I can gain some form of income, so I could buy hygiene products and clothes and so forth. So he directed me to the Art and Ripon Road, where he told me to bring all relevant documents like ID, TRN and so forth to that place on Ripon Road, and speak to the secretary and tell her that Martin Rittman, the head coordinator of the O program, sent me here. He told me that I should go to a school that's on South Camp, UWI Open campus. I went for 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks, I spent at UWI Open campus at South Camp Road. I then moved on to a government agency for work. I started off processing in the computer all documents that come in. I will be the one who to lodge it in the computer and send it off to the different departments. But now I'm a customer service rep at the moment, because my supervisor told me that my talent is wasted where I'm at right now. I don't do much more than lodge the documents in the system and so forth. So she gave me more hands-on training that would more fit my criteria.
I think it is a good motivator in the sense that, it gives him some purpose of living, coming, doing something, knowing that he's responsible for something that is such a vital aspect of our daily activities. He dresses well, always on time, and he takes pride in whatever, what is assigned to him. Meaning he works really hard, and whenever he's not here, they miss him.
This particular day now, I think it's the following week, after Martin Rittman helped me out with the O program and so forth. I saw a lady, just a random lady, I was begging and so forth. And the lady see me and she started to talk to me and ask me, why am I here and so forth. So I told her and I spoke with her, and she take me into Mother's, she buy me a patty and a juice. And we were talking, just talking and talking, and then she asked me, do I want to come to stay with her? With a glad face, I accepted and said, yes, I would love to come home with you. When she took me in, it's like, I was very welcome, because just looking, I had a bed to sleep in that used to be a cardboard. I had food to eat that used to be me begging on the street just to make ends meet, just to eat a little patty or something. A dumpling, she gave me all type of food that I longed to eat from a longer while.
You know the reason why I do it? God himself provide for me. That's me can feed myself, feed him, feed my 2 grandchildren then. Helping him is not a problem. Helping somebody when they are in need is the greatest thing for me.
I can put my life like the Titanic, if you ever seen that movie. It's like, when the ship was sinking, there's a lot of persons like, them don't know what to do. Some people just jump off in the water because them can't. But I was there and like, the ship has sink, and it's like I tell myself, say, you know what, I'm not going to make this ship sink with me now. So I decided to just jump off. So when you jump off now, I decide say, you know what, I nah give up, I nah just drown so, I nah just go down so. So I tell myself, say, you know what, I go swim. Till me see a light, and that light was Martin Rickman, who shine a lot of other lights for me to a lot of different islands, a lot of different places.
Mommy,
Yes, sweetie?
how can I change my world?
You can change your world with just one word,
Thank you, Miss.
one action. We can change the world with acts of random kindness.
Stay kind, act kind, be kind.
Sometimes it's not so easy to be positive and optimistic. With all the turmoil and challenges of life, positive thoughts might be the last thing on our minds. But here's an idea. Why not start with the little things, such as acts of random kindness?
So many times we sit and we talk and we say, hey, I would love for Jamaica to be this kind of place. But what are you really doing? What type of Jamaica do you want to see?
We're hoping to use art to teach Jamaica that it's not the thunder that grows the flower, it's the gentle rain. We want Jamaica to stop thundering for everything and start to put forth gentle rain, especially in the lives of our youth.
This gentle rain is the Acts of Random Kindness initiative being put forward by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF, a program that inspires and encourages expressions of kindness.
Our project comes out of our youth empowerment and mentorship program, where we're teaching our youngsters to know themselves, to know their purpose, to understand that it is important to cultivate attitudes of kindness, gratitude, and respect, as well as to put themselves on a good destiny, a life path.
The Youth Empowerment and Mentorship Program uses the iPad Summer Camp to teach resilience and social skills to children from at-risk communities.
If we can show you an act of kindness when you were young, if you were to reciprocate this act of kindness to somebody else, what a wonderful Jamaica this could be.
We saw a youth leader in the camp who decided to take responsibility for the lack of a belt on one of his team's part and said, you know what, you have my belt and I will then take the responsibility for the consequences. It's like an evolution and a revolution all at once, because they made revolutionary changes to their behaviors as opposed to when they just came on day one, day two, and you could start to see them evolving into being kind and gentler youth.
Action means identity, purpose, attitude, and destiny. So with the attitude, you have I show respect, kindness, and gratitude. It's important because most youths are growing up in very disturbing societies where a level of kindness and love isn't shown. So the camp actually gives us that love that is missing from our lives and help us to reflect this on others as well.
We want our youth to do tangible acts of random kindness, to be kindness ambassadors in their schools and communities. This will in turn raise the awareness in adults that they too should be agents of change.
We are challenging Jamaica to engage in a very self-conscious way in acts of random kindness amongst adults and towards our children. We want you to think kind, Jamaica. We want you to act kind. We want you to be kind.
I am ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
You have to have kindness in your heart. You have to be compassionate towards people. Some persons really need it. A little act of kindness sometimes motivates somebody else.
So we want our youngsters at school, at home, and at play to think kind, act kind, and be kind. It is a message that needs to be self-conscious.
We are inviting you, youth, adults, business places, to take up your link in the chain and bring this initiative to life. Respond with smiles, hugs, positive affirmations, and acts of kindness to transform relationships in homes, schools, the workplace. Transform relationships right across Jamaica.
If we want a kinder, gentler Jamaica, where all of us want to live, work, and raise families, it is important that each and every one of us start to think about the words that we speak to our children. Start with a kind word. Start by giving a smile and saying good day. Start by saying thank you. Start by giving a hug. Where you can, be a mentor. Just listen to their concern. Show that you have some degree of understanding and empathy.
Be conscious, be aware. The cost to being kind is a state of mind.
Did you know that the Child Protection and Family Services Agency has taken steps to make the adoption process much shorter? Yes, adopting a child in Jamaica has never been easier. So for those of you who are interested, this is a great opportunity to start the process. Trust me, there is no greater fulfillment than helping to save a life. The Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, has taken steps to make the adoption process much easier. Joining me is Adoption Coordinator, Mrs. Maxine Bugelo, who will be giving us some information about the changes made. Thank you for coming, Mrs. Bugelo.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're going to go straight into it. What are the changes made?
Okay, before 2016, we had a two-tier system. First, applicants were asked to complete a pre-adoption form and then submit that to us. Now that would normally take some time. So we reviewed the system and said that it would be best if maybe we erase that part of the process. So now what applicants have to do is that they go straight to our website and where they will find the adoption forms. The forms include the application form, the medical form, one for the child and the applicants, and the guidelines which outline all the information and all the required documents that need to be submitted with the application form.
Awesome. And what are the required documents?
The required documents are the birth certificates, marriage certificates if they are married, job letters and income statements, references from persons who know them, not a family member. And the references should not necessarily speak only to the person being a nice or a good person, but it should speak to how would they care for a child. That should be included, their capacity to care for a child. If the child is in school, we would need a child's last school report as well.
And when all of that is completed, what's the next step?
The next step would be submit all of those to the CPFSA. When it is here now, we would review to ensure that all documents are here. Now, if all the information is there, the application is reviewed, given a number, and assigned to a caseworker. And a letter would be sent to the applicant informing them of this and who the person is. Once the caseworker gets that application, that caseworker would now start to prepare appointments to interview both the applicants, the child, and whosoever, the birth parents, because the birth parents are also very important in the process.
And what if there are no birth parents?
Well, if there are no birth parents, we would have had death certificates for the parents if they have died. If they are nowhere around or cannot be located, there are avenues that we would have to take internally to ensure that we try our best to find them.
And once that's completed, what's next?
Once that is completed, the officers then would have to do a comprehensive report. And that report would have to be compiled and then submitted to the adoption board. because the adoption board is the only agency in Jamaica that can approve adoption at that level. So after the approval, it is submitted to the adoption board and approval is given, then it is now preparation for court. Because court is where it is finalized legally.
How long does that process usually last?
The entire process? We are at now 3 to 6 months, depending on if there are no challenges.
And once you get to court, then?
Once we get to court, court is held depending on the availability by the court. Some courts have set dates, while others will have to submit our documents and await their decision as to when we can come to court. Now, once the court has signed off on those documents, for adoption orders, it is the applicant's responsibility to collect those, and they will take a copy to the RGD, where they will apply for the new birth certificate for the adopted child.
And is there any cost associated with any of this process?
No, adoptions are free in Jamaica.
Is there anything else that Jamaica needs to know about the process?
We need adopters, prospective adopters, to understand that it is important that they submit all the documents, and it is also important that they are truthful in the stories that they give pertaining to how a child is placed in their care. Because what we find is that sometimes when we approach birth parents, they are not aware that this child is being adopted. They know that somebody is caring for their child, but that was not the arrangement that they adopted for. Persons generally who wish to adopt should love a child, should really want to take care of a child, because it's a lifelong investment. Persons, they should have proper accommodation for their child. They should be able to financially can afford to take care of that child. And they should be willing to accept that child as theirs. And that is very important, because we see sometimes that persons adopt for many different reasons, and this can affect the relationship of that child for the rest of their lives.
How can people reach out to you to find out or to just inquire about the adoption process?
Okay, we have an email address, adoption@childprotection.gov.jm, and our straight line to the unit is 922-1751.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Bugelo.
You're welcome.
Thinking positive thoughts have numerous benefits. Scientists say it reduces cardiovascular disease, lowers the risk of catching the common cold, and stimulates better psychological and physical well-being. So here are some tips to help you do just that. 1. Start the day positively by saying, "Today is going to be a good day." This will set the tone for all the hours to come. Reciting positive sentences about you or your circumstances can give you boldness, confidence, and self-esteem. 2. Hang around positive people. 3. Count your blessings and show gratitude for the simple things in life. 4. Read or watch positive motivational books and movies. 5. Be kind to someone. And 6. Smile. Let's journey on the path of positivity today and help to make our island home a better place for everyone to live, work, raise families, and do business. And this is the final stop in today's magazine. Thanks for joining with us. To watch today's program again, simply visit our website, jis.gov.jm. Don't forget that you're able to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm Sandra, reminding you to never let yesterday take up too much of today. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.